Hi there, Scott Action Jackson here, and sorry if I'm sounding under the weather, but I kinda am. But I'm here to share my opinions and info about Arcade1up's newest lineup reveal at CES 2021. They unveiled 7 new arcade cabinets, none of which I will probably get a hold of due to scalpers. But anyway, that'll be something for another time. The biggest one here that a lot of people should be excited about is the X-Men 4-player cabinet with riser. Now, these are all going to be coming with risers except for one. Okay? Bit of a heads up here. And they're all custom ones. But yeah, X-Men 4-player cabinet with riser. It'll include the X-Men 1992 Konami beat-em-up game, Captain America and the Avengers in Galactic Storm. Now, I do have some memory of Captain America and the Avengers, mostly for the silly console version. Okay. Go. You still got a black screen. There's nothing on the screen. And it starts. For me, the one thing that upsets me about this, that I found the most upsetting, is that they could have thrown on the Spider-Man the arcade game on here. I mean, you got X-Men, you got the Avengers, you got Captain America. Great, you could have added on Spider-Man the arcade game. You could have, but you didn't. Congrats. And since this is not tied in any way to Best Buy, hey, I might have a good chance at getting this at some point, if I ever do. We go on to a Killer Instinct cabinet with a riser. Interesting. Now this will include Killer Instinct 2, Battletoads the arcade game, and Battletoads with Double Dragon. This seems like an excellent idea, especially for those who've been wanting a Killer Instinct one for a long, long while. And apparently this is going to be like a Rare company, a cabinet then, because it's got Killer Instinct and Battletoads, and those are mostly tied to Rare. Also, one that people have been asking about is a Dragon's Lair cabinet. It include Dragon's Lair 2 Time Warp, and Space Ace. Now, all these are like Don Bluth designed games, so most people know what Dragon's Lair in the arcade was like, so they're going to be all the same. This was once again an interesting thing that they finally pulled the trigger on. And now we start dipping into the legacy ones that they announced, which have like a shit ton of games in them. First up is the Atari Legacy Edition cabinet. This includes Androids Deluxe, Centipede, Major Havoc, Missile Command, Akira. I don't know how to say that word, so I'll just put it on the screen once it comes up on the video. Crystal Castles, Tempest, Millipede, Gravatar, Liberator, and Space Duel. That is good amount of video games for these legacy cabinets. Not bad for the Atari one. Capcom Legacy Edition cabinet. 1944 Commando, Darkstalkers, Final Fight, Ghosts and Goblins, Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2 World Warrior, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 The New Challengers, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and Strider. Damn, I wish I had gotten this instead of the current Street Fighter cabinet that I have, because this has more Street Fighters on it. Bandai Namco Legacy Edition cabinet. This one will include Dig Dug 2, Galaga, Galaxian, Mappy, Pac and Pal, Pac-Land, Pac-Man, Pac-Man Plus, Pac-Mania, Rompers, Super Pac-Man. So even on a legacy arcade cabinet that has Pac-Man designed on it, they still can't throw on Mrs. Pac-Man. Now here comes the one that doesn't have any riser at all. It's a Pong 4-player pub table, and it's going to include, if I can get these names right, Circus Atari, Pong, Pong Doubles, Pong Sports, Quadra Pong, Warlords, Super Breakout, Tempest. Now I think it's this Pong one, the Bandai Namco are two that are currently tied in are currently tied into Best Buy. So I'm guessing those two will be exclusive through those, which, for me personally, it's like, fine, go ahead. They can't do a fucking Bandai Namco cabinet right anyway, since they can't include the major Pac-Man ones into one cabinet. I am glad that they did finally get around to this X-Men one, although concerned that the arcade itself can play. I think there was like a 4-player version, and then I think there was like an 8-player version that had like 2 screens, but it was a huge ass arcade. But the fact that Arcade1up is doing one of these is great. It sucks that it doesn't include the Spider-Man game, which they should have. And the Killer Instinct cabinet is nice. It's been a while since I've seen or tried the Battletoads arcade to see if that one. I think that one was slightly better than the NES game, which I'm kind of the only one I'm used to. As far as the rest, like I said, the Capcom Legacy cabinet. Oh man, I kind of wish this would have gotten this one instead of the Street Fighter one I currently got over here. And the weird thing about all these cabinets, apparently Arcade1up's going to start these little coin insert things on the front of them. But yeah, it was just me sharing this news of the arcade cabinets that they announced for Arcade1up news, along with a bit of my opinions on this. As much as I would like to get my hands on this X-Men 4-player cabinet, it just sucks to me that I missed out on that Best Buy Marvel vs. Capcom cabinet. Because, man, that would have been the awesome one and not the standard one that was available otherwise. Because I think it had like 5. I think it had 4 or 5 games on it, while the standard Marvel vs. Capcom one had only like 3 or 4. But yeah, go and share your thoughts and opinions down below on what you think about this lineup for this year's Arcade1up reveals. Actually, the biggest question is, will they actually be out this year, or will it be like once again towards the end of the year?